be faster! Final destructive finish! You can't depend on mere calculations to understand the same. Vegeta! Win!
Hello everyone, my name is Young Falcon and welcome to my in-depth analysis of Dragon Ball Fighterz. I have never seen a fighting game with this much hype since, I don't know, Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo Wii U. This game had a lot of expectations to live up to. It had to be an interesting, unique fighting game with some hype 3v3 mechanics and of course keep its anime fighting game niche appeal. So, did it live up to those expectations? Is the game honestly as cracked up as it meant to be? Well, yes, actually, without a doubt, but how did it achieve this? Well, first we have to start back to its announcement at the Xbox E3 2017 press conference, where everything kicked off. Welcome to my in-depth review of Dragon Ball Fighterz. So, as we all know, Arc System Works is known for making crazy high-end hype action anime fighting games. Your Guilty Gears, your Blaze Blues, your games that take 40+ thousand inputs per second to pull off a basic combo. These games have a high bar of entry and it kind of deters people away from wanting to get in and play these games. Despite their amazing sprite or hand-drawn style cel-shaded visuals of Guilty Gear fame and their sprite A1 work over there on the Blaze Blue side. And even both storylines are pretty just great. They're known for making story-heavy based fighting games with, of course, great gameplay on top of that. So, these games never really obtained the top tier fighting game status due to the high bar of entry. It's kind of unfair, but it's whatever considering there is an auto combo system in that too. But again, since it's such high bar and there's a bunch of like one-touch death combos and things that do massive damage, you typically don't see this kind of thing. So how is Arc System Works going to implement some of its cool niche fighting game anime elements into a Dragon Ball Z game? Well, accessibility, and they show off accessibility through one of the best ways ever, announcing it at the Xbox press conference, showing that this is a game for DBZ fans through and through, and just fighting game fans in general. It shows that the game is more than just another PS4 niche anime game with the Dragon Ball Z license. It shows that it's going to be accessible to all players, no matter what the console, and this game proves it immensely, as the game is extremely accessible and fun. It's a 3v3 Marvel vs. Capcom style, and the game feels like a throwback to the Capcom days, kind of like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or Darkstalkers. With that being said, the game also shows accessibility through its marketing. That brings me to my second point, the marketing behind this game. You had smaller players commentate some of the EVO matches, which is a competitive fighting game circuit if you guys don't know. But seriously, smaller people like Afro Senju and Rhymestyle commenting these matches, calling Ki Blast fireballs, and overall messing up a bunch when it came to the actual fighting game community. This is going to be their first forte, and people took things kind of aggressively, a little bit. But this is exactly what they needed, as these players learned to play the game as more and more press events came out, and you see them play the game more. They learned more techniques and moves and how to manual combo, etc., etc. It showed that a short amount of time, whether it be a couple months or a couple of weeks, that Dragon Ball Fighterz is going to be an accessible game if you want to pick it up on any competitive level whatsoever. And I loved this about it. And then you had your higher class people like Maximilian Dude, Perfect Legend, and Sonic Fox picking up the game during exhibition matches and things of that nature, showing that the game is once again going to be a very accessible fighting game. Whether it's through the auto combo system presented or the actual manual combos you can figure out and learn, this game was going to be one that's accessible, and the hype levels were set to overdrive with closed beta here and open beta there, and of course a couple extensions due to server issues. People had their hype thruster set to overdrive, but did Dragon Ball Fighterz deliver on any of those elements? Let's take a look in the review. Okay, so let's discuss the presentation of Dragon Ball Fighterz before we reach the actual gameplay. First, let me just say the game oozes style. It looks like an episode of the anime was transformed to let you control every action of heroes and villains who just throw hands. It's absolutely gorgeous with vivid colors popping off the screen, does kicks up off the floor after every single dash, and the characters all look their part, and the game does a great job of showering the player with fan service that feels like every single DBZ fan is sitting at a 5-star restaurant eating a great meal. And that's not even the best part. Every special move, every punch feels unique and genuine to each respective character. It doesn't just feel like a game with 87 plus characters who all control the same with slightly different animations here and there. Xenoverse, and Tenkaichi, and Tenkaichi 2, and Tenkaichi 3, Ultimate Tenkaichi, Xenoverse 2, just to name a few. Dragon Ball FighterZ is absolutely stunning to watch, and that goes without saying. I just wish the buttery smooth presentation would transfer over to that online connection though. The lobby system is actually kind of fun and unique for me personally. It feels like they wanted to keep that Dragon Ball MMO feel intact, kind of similar to the Xenoverse games, but the hub world isn't really cumbersome or annoying. It's actually quite fun. Chibi characters running around the map, a warp button lets you get to places you want to get to and fight in very easily. It's fun, and when everything works, it's pretty cool. But as of now, servers aren't pretty stable, and it's kind of annoying that you drop matches very frequently. It leads to random lobby kicks out and an overall shaky time in between matches, which can be extremely frustrating. Thankfully, Bandai Namco is going to work on a fix ASAP, and you know what, in a span of a couple of days, I'm sure it's all going to be smoothed out. The only drawback is the connection. When you actually get into match 2, feels like it's the smoothest thing of all time. At other times, it feels like the laggiest, choppiest match I have ever played, and it makes the game kind of an unoptimized fighting game mess. But overall, it's a pretty decent time when it works, and you know what? It works a good 96% of the time, so I'm not going to fault it too much. I feel like Arc System Works took a lot of things on, and for a company that's not as popular and big and hasn't had these many influx of players on both Xbox and PS4, it's nice to see that, you know what, they're handling things, and it's going to get smoothed out pretty soon. So you know what? I'm not going to actually dock points for this one. Despite some of the lobby issues, Arc System Works gave a pretty cool way for us to unlock things similar to the BlazBlue and Guilty Gear games, allowing us to use Z capsules and Zenny currency to purchase loot crates. No, it's not as bad as people say. They actually are pretty harmless, even if they did make you pay real money. It's literally just unlocking color, character costumes, player card emblems, and of course lobby characters. I like this concept, and it's a nice cool way to flex on them and show how much time you put in the game. I really enjoy what they had to do here, and it's actually pretty unique of a concept, and it's nice to see that Arc System Works is borrowing from some of their other properties and porting it still to Dragon Ball FighterZ, showing that they had some pretty good creative control. Now onto the actual gameplay. The gameplay matches the anime to a flashy T. It's fun to watch, easy to get hyped, and understand the basic fundamentals of each game. The game features an auto combo system to help players ease into more advanced combos and things of that nature, and each character has a unique special move list, but the move list isn't crazy or outrageous with moves presented. Most moves consist of a simple quarter circle forward, quarter circle back, and the press of 1 or 2 buttons. This system works great for both advanced players and casual players. For example, manual combos reward high skill for extended combo and meter gain, while auto combos reward landing a hit and equals big damage. It's all a part of the system. Want to mash a quick auto combo and catch someone pressing buttons? Open them up to a big damage combo. You could definitely do that. How about punishing an auto combo spammer online with a heavy manual combo that leads into a level 3 super? You can do that too. It's all a part of the beauty of Dragon Ball FighterZ, and we're not even into the technical details. You know, your delayed hyper cancels, tagging in, Z ultimates, etc, etc. There's surprisingly a lot of depth to DBFZ, and it's going to have a lot of fun for players to figure out combos that work, figure out a team configuration that works, and overall see the meta of this game get pushed very heavily. On top of that, it makes it feel very arcade-like, similar to the games that are like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Darkstalkers. It feels like a good old classic Capcom game rather than an Arc System Works anime niche fighter. Dragon Ball FighterZ feels like it's a love letter not only to Dragon Ball Z fans or even a fighting game fan. It feels like it's a throwback to the arcade fighting games that everybody had to get their hands on back in the day. You know, when the cabinet pops up and everyone has to play it. It has a certain charm that draws people in and makes the game overall an amazing time. On top of that, the game gives incentives to keep playing, whether it's through the quest that the game gives out or the actual gameplay rewarding you, like when you play matches and you get Zenny. And beating arcade mode lets you unlock 2 new characters, Vegeta SSGSS and Goku SSGSS, aka their Super Saiyan God Blue forms. This is absolutely crazy, and of course playing through the 10-11 hour story mode lets you unlock Android 21. These reward incentives are great, and it just overall helps boost the gameplay. It makes you want to keep coming back for more. Every day there's a new quest to find out. Every single time you log in, there's some Zenny to earn, matches to play, and overall interact with the community in the game. The game does a good job of forcing you, but not necessarily pushing you and making you do anything, but the incentives are too good to pass up. It's just worth it. Sometimes it's as simple as opening a menu or just hopping into training mode. And I love that about Dragon Ball Fighterz. It does a lot to reward the player no matter what they do. And it's not stupid rewards. If it's just opening training mode, of course you're not going to get a bunch of Zenny, but if it's winning 4 ranked matches, yeah, you're going to get some Zenny for that. Stuff like that is why I keep coming back to this game and why I already have 60 some hours. I love Dragon Ball Fighterz, and everything about it just feels great. Highly technical, but fun to master, not too hard to learn, etc, etc. I just like this game. It has a lot of good depth going for it, and the characters are all varied and interesting. I could go on for days about each character and how they play, but I won't bore you guys with the details. The story mode is also really fun, despite some flaws of it kind of just being a clone romp and maybe a bit too long, but it's kind of worth it if you're a DBFZ fan or just a DBZ fan in general. I loved everything that this game had to offer. The story interactions were pretty cool and funny, all the visual novel kind of things, I love the actual gameplay, it's just great. If you are a fighting game fan at all, or you're just a fan of anything related to Dragon Ball Z, you owe it to yourself to pick this game up. And if you want a game that you want to be rewarded and kind of be on a grind and basically learn a new fighting game, I think I'm actually going to recommend this as your intro to fighting games. It's super easy to pick up, it's super easy to learn, and the community is really nice right now. I strongly recommend you pick up Dragon Ball Fighterz, and I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10 with the Young Falcon seal of approval. This game is one of the best I've played of 2018, and I'm excited to see what else this year has to offer. If you guys like the review, then, please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see some more of these types of videos, and just stay notified, of course. I will be streaming this game on weekends if you guys are interested in checking out the combo game and the climb to Demon Rank. That's my goal, at least. And that's basically it. Now, I have something kind of special that I whipped up for you boys. I'm going to play it right now for the outro of my review.
Knock you out, homie. Alright, let's get it started.